Hey everybody, welcome to the Noir Bar. I have got to figure out just how loud and or quiet to tell the blues band in the background to be here. Messing around with a media source input in a way you're not supposed to without a virtual audio cable. Because I'm like, I don't know, I could mess around for the next 3 hours trying to figure out how to work a virtual audio cable on a free download, or I could just half-ass it, and I've half-assed it. But you can hear it, and you're not seeing the MP4 up on the screen, so I'll call that a marginal success. Keep the blues band in the background and all. I would, normally, under such circumstances, as your friendly bartender, bottle at the pour, ready at the pour, introduce whoever else is here with me tonight, but the bastards didn't show up. I'm here alone. Except for you guys. Seems to be at a good level. Bubba Hotep says, good. One thing I've come to notice is that you can take what OBS Studio's telling you in terms of the level meters. You can take it real serious, but for some people, that's quiet as fuck. And according to the OBS level meters, you're popping the mic. So it's tough to figure it out. So if anybody wants to hear the music a little bit better or is drowning out the voices, by all means, let me know. I'll tell them to quiet the fuck down over there. Get paid a lot of money to do very little. I was hoping that our friendly neighborhood teetotaler and Aussie Farr might be around, but I was checking out to see if she was on Discord. And apparently she's got her mic muted, so she's off doing Aussie things. I don't know. Chasing kangaroos out her yard and shit like that. Now, see, I crack jokes about her chasing kangaroos out of her yard, but you do realize she finds kangaroos on the street in front of her house from time to time. Like, that's not a complete rumor I'm spreading. Right. So let's just check out real quick who's here. I love that the regulars show up. It's so many of our Aussie contingent. It's awesome. You know, Gilcato's here, Evil One's here, Talik's here, Bubba Hotep, of course. Ebony Williams, how you doing? Cheers to you as well. See, there's Far. I was just talking about you, Far. You are welcome to come into the Noir Bar. You can be a voice guest. Oh, you heard that. But it's true, right? You have had kangaroos on your front street, no? I mean, for somebody who's never seen a kangaroo in their... Hold on. Have I ever seen a kangaroo like in a zoo? No, I don't think so. What's with zoos around me my whole life? I've never seen a kangaroo. I've seen polar bears and zebras and every other goddamn thing, but never a kangaroo. Hey, Pete, how's it going? I hear you stereotyping there. That's not a stereotype. You literally have had kangaroos on your front lawn. I'm able to catch this, for I am not working today. Hey, Pat, you want to come into the Noir Bar? You let me know, and I'll hook you up with a link. I got some fun articles that I want to cover, mostly shitposty stuff from the New York Post. Oh, man. CNN's dropping the ball all over the place. I'll come in. Is there a link? If it's just going to be you and I, Far, we'll do it through Discord. If Pat decides he wants to swing on in, then I'll do it through a Hangout. So we'll maybe Pat just wants to hang back and listen as we listen into a little blues and over a few drinks talk some bullshit. Yeah, is it just me, or has the New York Post found out that CNN is a new fantastic comedic source? Like, if you go to the New York Post website and you just look up Mannix Polly Needs Friends. No, I have plenty of friends. The bartender you see is the one who doesn't end up having very much fun, because they're always busy making sure that everyone else is having fun. You see, it's like, do you need another drink? I get some pretzels. More oysters on the half shell coming right out. That sort of thing. So Jack, Evil One, is off in bed, I believe. Unless he was lying to us about that. After comic book curation earlier, Quiz actually soldiered through comic book curation earlier. He was pretty sick and medicated himself up and got through it. But you know where you're at that point where you feel kind of ill, and then 2-3 hours later, your throat and sinuses, like the cold has occurred. The cold occurred to him over the period of comic book curation. So he was right off to bed, and Jack's still fighting sinus infection, flu, cold, whatever. All right, so both Pat and Far want to come in. That's awesome. They're both great company. So what I'm going to do real quick is just launch a Hangouts, and then I will send both you guys the link real quick. So let me just minimize this stuff around here. Close this window. Never try and do a one-man stream off of a laptop with a half-ass external monitor. It's rough. So, for those of you who don't know, there's a certain YouTuber out there by the name of That Umbrella Guy. He's a comic book YouTuber, talks a lot about the whole thing with Vic Mignogna, Kick Vic. He's kind of like he's like a geek culture kind of YouTuber. Started out really heavy duty into comics and spread on to other things. That man runs the most powerful one-man stream I've ever seen, and he does it off of a laptop with one screen, no external monitors. It is a fucking Herculean effort of organization. It's unbelievable that guy can keep his stream up and going in the way that he does. Mind-blowing. All right, so I got that open. Over there. And I haven't even opened up Streamlabs yet. God damn, man. I was like 5 steps behind everyone else. I should have had that shit going before I even started the screen. You know what gets me starting earlier than anything? It's all y'all in chat. With the, I guess we're going to have to put up with this bullshit for 15 minutes while it probably figures out which direction is up before the stream actually starts. And so like it gets me all like, oh shit, I got to get started. These guys are waiting. Oh my God. So that's why it takes Monkey so late into the evening to get his stream started, because he's fucking around forever getting organized. Oh, why do I still have Photoshop open? That don't need to be open. Do I want to save that document before quitting? I'm going to say yes, but in a different file name. For those of you who don't know, looking right now, you can see the new and improved Noir Bar background. Got rid of all that crappy modern ceiling shit, like all the electrical piping that was running to the fire, the smoke detectors and such. That stupid LCD screen in the background's gone. That goddamn aluminum escape bar across the mid-length of the door in the background is gone. So it's all tweaked, as for those of you who were on Monkey in the Morning last night would have seen. All right, off to messages here. Can link Far real quick, wherever the hell she is. Because she never hits me up by DM, so I'm going to have to like scroll all the way down to the bottom to find her ass. There we go. There, and Far has a link. And let me just look up Pat here real quick. Where is Pat at? Pat's ass hiding now. He's a big boy, man. Where's he hiding? There he is. Boy Pat. And oh, Far's in here now. That's good.
Where's my glass of water?
I guess you can have water.
Yes.
See. I don't know if Pat's a drinker, but I sure hope he is. There, Pat has the link. Nice. So. You don't actually go to bars and order drinks of water, do you?
I don't go to bars, so.
Okay, let me get the chat back up and see what I've been missing while I've been doing 10 other things. A Fall Potato says, I still see modern locks on the doors. No, that could be a period deadbolt. You don't know. I'm assuming it's a period deadbolt.
You just don't want to change anything else.
Well, yeah.
Dude, what up?
There's Pat. What's up, Pat?
How y'all doing, man? It's been a while since we talked, brother.
Yeah, it has been. Hold on, let me just adjust things there. So I don't know. Have you ever seen that we do the Noir Bar late night hangout streams lately?
No, it's like I can hardly catch them because usually I'm at work. Surprisingly, I'm not today because I got the day off. So.
Nice. So you got any plans for the day?
I said nothing much, paying bills and things like that. Celebrate with a little bit of like of 9/11. I didn't get to do yesterday because I was at work.
Right.
I did a lot of celebrating on Twitter and things like that, plus arguing with a whole lot of other people who decided to use 9/11 as a way to take shots at the president while saying, they stand with, the people who like to downplay it.
Right. You know what? It's a chill bar scene, you know what I mean? So you can get a little drunk and ask the questions you normally wouldn't. See, I hear people get on your case when you're not around, Pat. Do you get into like 2 and 3 day long fights on Twitter? Why do you do that? Because you just don't want them to get away with it? It gets under your skin in a certain way? What is it? What keeps you coming back?
No, not really. It's like, the thing is, like, a lot of times I'm just on Twitter just putting on my opinions and things like that, and they come from me.
They're the ones who started it? Is that it?
Yeah, it's like they'll come from me now. Don't get me. Every once in a while, I might see something that somebody will say, and I'll add my opinion on it. And of course, that's what strikes the fire into their ass.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, it's like, I'm saying something they don't agree with, and they're just like, like I said, the main ones, like I said, who are like butt heads for me, sometimes, but not all the time, is Sofane. He'll come at me with some certain things, but I think Sofane be trying to like, he be trying to like hit me with like gotcha moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll say something thinking that he backed me into a corner.
Right.
But I'm like, nah, I got you right here. He's like, fuck, I thought I had him.
Hey, at least he's willing to admit it to you. There's lots, or just admit it in public, I've developed this line of thinking where nobody admits anything on social media. You know what I mean? No matter what happens, I won. Hassan Piker views it as a victory what happened over his claims on September 11th. That America deserved 9/11. He calls that a victory. All the spankings he got all over the place. Because it just it hit a nerve because they knew there was some truth there. That was his claim.
Of course, there are a lot of
Whatever you
people out
want
there.
to believe.
Yeah.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Thank you, Evolved Potato, for putting our various links into.
Oh, I'm in there. That's nice.
That's nice. Yeah. Oh, the Streamlabs and everything. It's it is nice. You know how hard it is to find non-royalty free or royalty free bar music or any music in general?
Oh man.
Yes.
This this was a fight. I had to find this one off YouTube, man. I had to go to non-royalty free. God, why do I keep saying that? Royalty free website. This no one flagged this shit. This is copyright free. It's yeah.
My thing is like it'll start out as copyright free, but somewhere down the road somebody will try to claim it, and it's like, oh, something I've never heard of and all that right there, and then you find out that person is like tried to do it to like other people and things like that. That's how they get busted. And I'm like, how the hell you gonna claim something that's not yours?
Yeah.
My favorite one is when it's people trying to claim something that, one, they don't own, and two, doesn't technically exist.
It does. You mean like the time that somebody tried to claim The Entertainer on you?
Well, no, that one was just, I guess, them going, oh no, there's this other version of it that's a bit later on that could still be claimed. But no, I had once, but I don't. Okay, so technically I should have been claimed for this anyway because it was a full song that I didn't have the rights to, but
Right.
But it was more the fact that they tried to claim the second half of the Blinky Bill theme song.
Oh, right.
As a song that doesn't exist anywhere. Yeah, I don't know how or why, but apparently the only reason I know that it doesn't exist is because they did this to another guy.
Oh, man.
Who had the exact same thing up. And he mentioned it in his own comments and gone like, yeah, so, if you see any ads on this... It's not me.
The music is way louder than far. That's interesting. Because for me, far is loud as all. Well, both Pat and far
Yeah.
are pretty loud.
Yeah,
so.
because I can hear y'all loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah. Who knows what's happening on the other side? I don't know. There's got to be a
YouTube doesn't want me to be heard.
right. The music is louder and far. That's no good. Okay, hold on. Let me get into my because there's three adjustment angles. There's the original music, there's the fucking Hangout that we're in, and then there's the levels on OBS that all need to be adjusted and fuck. I gotta ask Ari Bear how he does it because he's got music playing in the background and multiple guesses and all that shit. Yeah, that I think Cynic has a good point. Far's so quiet because she's all over there in Western Australia. You know, she's out in the middle of nowhere, so you know.
Way out there.
Yeah.
Down under.
Let me see.
Yeah, that's how it works, right? Right. Right.
Well, that's how the internet works out there, isn't it? Just like a whole bunch of tin cans connected by a string, and you.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. That's the NBN.
All right, chat. I hate to keep asking you, but you tell me if I'm quiet, Pat's quiet, Far's quiet, the music's too loud, whatever. You let me know.
Yeah, because I got my headphones volumes to the max, so it's like if you can't hear me, something's wrong.
Right. No, I can hear you guys just fine, like fine as fuck.
Especially with this booming voice I got.
Yeah, it just depends on how it comes out on the far end for everyone else. Yeah, a polyderp. Don't give me that. Ebony Williams says that the last drink she had was a shot of tequila, lime, and all. And I only took the shot because it was my friend's husband offered and paid. That was the beginning of last year. Wow. That's, you a drinker, Pat?
No, I'm an occasional drinker. Like I said, it's got to be like a special occasion. Or I just got to be having like one of those days where I need to get a drink or I'm going to go crazy. So every once in a while.
All right. KRVA Dar says the music's about right. Good. They seem quiet to me, says Sarah. Oh, you get guys conference and come up with like a unified answer. Shit. Don't forget to shill the hashtag for comic book. Oh yeah.
Oh, you have a hashtag?
Yeah, CBC articles.
Yeah.
And if you have articles for comic book curation, things you want us to read, comic books that you've bought and want to just show off, which we are absolutely excited to see. Just anything or things you're thinking about buying. Is this any good? Shit like that. We'd love to see it up at CBC articles. Yeah, that's all. Hashtag CBC articles. Far, did you hear about my idea about the hashtag for Noir Bar?
No, I didn't.
There is this crappy, trendy restaurant over in the UK called Noir Bar. Now, it's not classy like this joint here, okay? Like this joint's pure class all the way, as you can see. Got nice tables, everything's glossy, nice drinks, friendly atmosphere, you know. That place is like a...
Nice LCD TVs.
No, not anymore. They're gone digitally.
Sure.
Those things that you think might be TVs near the ceiling, those are actually mirrors. They're not TVs. They're.
You seem to love the mirrors, then. Goddamn.
Sarah says, "Pat and Far are a little bit quiet. That's okay. I can turn them up a little bit." There we go. So hashtag Noir Bar, this stupid trendy hipster bar over there. You know why it's Noir Bar? Because everything inside's black.
Yes, and
it's trendy and stupid. The place is going to be open for like the next 2 years and then gone. You know those bars, here today, gone tomorrow, that kind of thing. They're designed by like New York and LA nightclub designers that come in and put $400 throw pillows everywhere, and it's like, oh, this is a classy joint. You know, come on in and buy a $28 martini. You know, places like that. Yeah, that's Noir Bar. I say we take over their hashtag. All of a sudden, there's all sorts of articles about like, you know, Orange Man bad and 4chan, and you know what I'm saying?
How often do they use the hashtag?
Well, if you look, it's weird. Not often. It usually it's just like some group of like 3 girls, like, we're going out to Noir Bar tonight, hey, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another hashtag taken over.
Yeah, and like how you said, Paul, like with these places that like they just recently opened up, and then they have like these big giant expensive things and stuff like that. Like I don't think that's a good tactic. Like just to come out swinging, like at least get the people in first. Then like slowly build up. But if you just come out like with guns blazing, like this is gonna be the best thing since sliced bread, that's how your company is really going to go down.
See, and that's like I have been to many a club along those lines, or smaller nightclubs and bars and stuff, and I figure it's got to be a scam to try and fleece investors. You go around and say this is the newest, biggest, hottest thing. You get them to invest whatever their little $25,000-$50,000 in or whatever, and it's like, oh, sorry, it went belly up. It's like, motherfucker's only been only open 2 years, and it's like, yeah, man. It's like, well, where's the return on my money? Oh, that was gone like 18 months ago, man. Meanwhile, it's like sitting in a Cayman Islands account somewhere. I figure it's a way of fleecing investors. I can't figure anything else out of it, because how long do you expect this business to stay open? 2 years? You really expect to bring in that much money in that short of a period? Maybe that explains the fucking, $35 tapas and shit. I don't. Evolved Potato says we can also post sexy ladies over there, right? Oh, absolutely. Over at hashtag Noir Bar and CBC articles, you post sexy ladies wherever you want.
Yeah, like I said, you're not gonna have a lot of people complaining about, oh, you can't draw. Oh, have you been seeing that on Twitter? About the people sitting right there harping about, like I said, like like men can't draw sexy ladies and all that right there.
Yeah. I just love the idea of hijacking some trendy UK bars hashtag where it's like, this is ours. Yeah, you don't know how Twitter works, do you? I mean, Monkey in the Morning hijacked a One Direction hashtag.
Oh, yeah, and people still post in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny to see every so often just this random little One Direction thing appear, and you're like, oh, you haven't looked in here for a while, have you? Because the post, like, immediately underneath it'd be like some big, like a big boobed girl, like, jumping up and down. Okay. Very obviously haven't checked this hashtag in a while.
But yeah, no kidding. But they have the Gilcotto asks, how much does booze cost in real bars in America? That is absolutely dependent on where you're at.
Yeah.
Places that are not here today, gone tomorrow, that aren't like aiming to be trendy joints, they're gonna have like happy hour specials that would blow your mind. Literal 2-for-1s. Shot in a beer for $5. Like, yeah, absolutely, you can find that shit. But you go to nightclubs, and Gilcotto mentioned a single espresso martini is between $15 and $20 here in Australia. That's not unheard of. $15-$20 martinis at a brand name martini bar that's got fancy surroundings and shit. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You can pay $20 for a single drink. Set that drink on fire, dude. You're looking at $30. I have a flaming martini as one of the background pictures for this too. Duck Dog asks, "Hey, Far, you get that suicide Slurpee yet?"
Yeah, they just answered as well.
Did you? Oh, sorry, I got caught up in something. There.
No, like really just then. But no, I have not.
You can explain that?
What, my abomination Slurpees?
Well, you called it a suicide Slurpee. I'm assuming it had strychnine in it or something.
I didn't call it suicide Slurpee. I call it abomination Slurpee.
An abomination Slurpee, okay. What? That's just like a mix of everything that they got?
Yeah. It's great.
Oh, so it's just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. No.
Yeah. Everything that they have. Which, honestly, for around here, it's usually not much.
Mm-hmm.
Usually maybe like, what, 1 or 2 flavors? Maybe 4 if you're lucky.
Really?
Yeah, no, when I visited Platy in America, when we went into a 7-Eleven,
right,
and I was looking at the slotting machines, I was just like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, there's 8 at the one by my house. Like,
yeah, it was like a ridiculous amount. You guys had like Captain Crunch something.
Fuck
like
yeah!
And, like, And I was like, what the actual fuck is this?
The ones I'm loving lately are the Sour Patch Kids ones. Do you know the ones I mean? Sour Slurpees.
I don't think.
Oh,
Oh man, they got root beer, Dr. Pepper's up there right now, lime, orange, sour orange, and every Slurpee machine I've ever been into has both Pepsi and Coke. Take your pick.
Yeah, usually there'll be cola, but.
That's funny. There'll be 2 if you're lucky. 4. Yeah,
If you're lucky, four.
X-Bob Hopetep's right. It's like
heard
we like choices. Yeah. You're a damn liar. They come in 2s. I've seen the machines. They come in 2s. Okay. Actually, there's this. A lot of bars have the single small unit Slurpee machine for the lime slush for all of their margaritas and such, for their frozen margaritas. Oh man, that's something. When you can get a lime Slurpee mixed with tequila right there at the bar, count me in. Let's see.
yeah, remember Slurpees are great, man.
Yeah.
If you can find it. But like I said, but where I live at, like I said, we don't have a 7-Eleven, so we have to do it. We get ices and shit. Like.
Right. Well, whatever's at the local gas station kind of thing. But far is very much of the opinion that it's not the same if you don't go to 7-Eleven. And I think she's right, damn it. It's just not the same thing. I have. So, you guys want to talk about some New York Post shit posting about CNN? They've been getting heavy.
That's good.
Oh, fuck it. Posting.
They've been getting heavy duty. It's just become apparently their new favorite target. Did you hear about this CNN report on the spy that had to be exfiltrated from Russia because of Donald Trump?
What? No.
What?
Basically, they have an asset. CIA has an asset over in Russia. And Donald Trump, because of his actions and decisions and so forth, they force an exfiltration where they had, meaning get him out of there. The opposite of entrance is egress, exfiltration, as opposed to infiltration. You following me here far?
No.
No. Okay. CIA rejects this immediately and says, we do not know what they're talking about. We have no idea where they got this story or information from. Of course, it's based on anonymous sources. This just sounds like a bunch of bullshit, but here we go. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Tuesday slammed a CNN report that a CIA asset in Russia was, quote, exfiltrated because the spy agency's officials were worried about President Trump's handling of classified information. That Trump was going to out the guy and get him killed, basically. That was what CNN actually fucking reported that. All right. He responded, quote, yeah, I've seen that reporting. The reporting is materially inaccurate, Pompeo said at a White House press briefing. Further, and you should know, as a former CIA director, I only talk about things like this. I don't talk about things like this very often. It is only on occasions that I think it would put people at risk when the reporting is so egregious as to create enormous risk to the United States of America. That I even comment the way I just did. The former spy's identity was reported Tuesday evening by Russian government newspaper Kommersant. The former spy, Oleg Smolnikov, vanished while he was on vacation with his family in Montenegro in 2017, according to the report. It added that he was likely extracted from Russia after he provided information to the Americans about Russia's interference in the 2016 presidential election.
Oh, God.
Somali, I know, it just never dies, right?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Smolnikov worked for Yuri Yurzhanikov, the Russian ambassador to the United States from 1999 to 2008. The Washington Post reported. It's not clear if he was the source who provided information to U.S. intelligence agencies about the 2016 election interference, but he was likely a valuable asset to the CIA, according to the report. An unnamed diplomatic source downplayed Smolnikov's position in a statement to the Russian newspaper something Russian, probably having to do with snow and pierogies. Okay. Quote, he had a lackey function at the embassy, the source told the newspaper. CNN, in a report Monday that has since been disputed by other news organizations, said the CIA spy was pulled out of the country in 2017 because intelligence officials believed Trump could give up the man's identity to Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Boy, CNN. Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, so the last few lines are the New York Times and the Washington Post contradicted the network's reporting, saying the spy was removed because reporters started grilling officials about his identity. During his years in America, Smolikov lived a quiet life in a D.C. suburb, according to the Washington Post. A neighbor at his Virginia town told the newspaper he didn't work and seemed to, quote, have a lot of time on his hands. They actually reported, and I watched the clip, and they did say it. According to anonymous sources, the CIA, had to pull him out of Russia because Donald Trump would hand his identity over to Vladimir Putin.
And that's been proven wrong.
It's been argued to be wrong. Other agencies are like, other news agencies are arguing where you're getting this from. The CIA, who never responds publicly about stuff like this in official statements, that's just not their business. It's not what they do. They came out and said, where are you even getting this from? This story is dead wrong. We would never exfiltrate because it's a huge operation to get one guy out of one country, especially when he's a Russian official. Really hard to pull that off. You know what I mean? They would never do it on the information from one guy, which is what CNN is reporting. We'd never think about doing that. It's too big of an operation. This information is misleading and inaccurate. Other news agencies are contradicting what they're saying. Did that stop CNN from going to news? No, because Orange Man bad.
Yeah, exactly. They have such a goddamn. When it comes to Trump deranged syndrome, they got it bad as more than anybody out there, any celebrity out there right there. They'll just basically say whatever it is, anything just to keep President Trump in their mouth.
Yeah, and of course they went to his house, like Eagles saying they had a reporter go to the ex-spy's house. I heard that, but I had not read that anywhere. That they actually just went to the guy's house and like, is it true that you had to be exfiltrated from Russia because fear of Donald Trump handing your identity over to Vladimir Putin? Because, Trump is a Russian agent. I mean, that's what the whole point of it is, to make it look like, why are you reporting on this? How does this fit your Orange Man bad storyline, narrative? Because this guy is so untrustworthy and he's our president, he's going to out our own foreign assets.
But why report on the spy though? Doesn't that risk the spy even more?
Mm-hmm. Do you? I really don't think they care.
Probably not. But at the same time, though,
so long as they can feed their propaganda, keep people who they've gotten manipulated and stuff like that, steadily watching them and things like that, they're basically going to keep on telling them what they want to hear, even if it's a downright bald-faced lie.
I mean, what's a fascinating thing to me is you can point out again and again and again how news agencies, especially the CNN corporate cable news types, they have all the answers at the ready as to why they do. Well, this is breaking news. We're supposed to keep this under the wraps. That's the way they'll defensively respond to it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, we're not going to cover up for the president. I've heard people saying that all over Twitter. What, you expect them to cover up for Trump? And it's like, that statement assumes that Trump was doing something in the first place to have to cover up for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, doesn't it put the guy's life at risk or further broadcast his identity more than it already was? Yeah, of course, Far. Of course it does. I just don't think they care.
Nope, they don't. As long as they can screech Orange Man bad.
it also feels like they could probably get whoever reported that for something of like endangerment or something like that, but I don't know. Probably not.
But it's like Paula said, they already got their excuse ready. But I'm saying, before they even deliver the report.
Yeah. And Eagle says they're going to have to put this guy in witness protection, his family. I would think go to extra security measures that they weren't before, because Putin has a history of killing these guys. Yeah. How many ex-Soviet spies in the UK have turned up dead in the most obvious of ways, from Not plutonium. What
Well,
was the radiation pellet that the one guy got hit with? They turned up dead all over the place, Russian spies in the UK.
well, the guy that was like some powder, was it? I forget what it was, but it was like his daughter got affected as well.
Yeah. And it's like he dies a period later. Like, it's not immediate. They don't give him like 2 bullets to the back of the head. He doesn't get Clintoned. I'm happy. I'm not depressed. Leave me alone.
We're all happy here at the Noir Bar.
Yeah.
Like positivity and happiness.
Yeah. Well, those are all jokes. Nobody ever gets killed who messes with the Clintons. It's all jokes. It's... Oh, what was it? It's not plutonium. It's not palladium. That's dead wrong. Come on, chat. Help me out here. What the fuck? What was the fucking... Because the guy dies anyway, like 8 months later of severe radiation poisoning. And the point is like, well, he's already dumped his information. Why do this? As a message to anyone else who's thinking of going to the other side? Ricin, Hellcat says. Evil One says an umbrella gun. Yeah, that's the pellet was supposedly... man, anyway. It depresses me to think CNN operating this way, but it doesn't surprise me because... I mean, think about the way that they report on the identity of mass shooters. There is a known connection. There is an understood connection that psychologists who study it can tell you about. That people that are mass shooters study previous mass shootings. They know all about the Klebolts and the different guys who have conducted mass shootings in the past. They take the news clippings and study what they're up to and read books on them. You feed them when you give this much information out, when you got your little reporters running around, and that is some morbid ass shit you guys are up to. And they have the excuse in the same way ready at the go. Because it's well, this is of public interest. If the person was a white nationalist or something, yeah, but when they're not, you suddenly fall incredibly silent.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it was the lefty in Ohio, whether it was the guy who did the shooting down in Dallas of the police officers, were corporate news investigators on that guy's history and hunting down his family and annoying them at their homes, asking questions like, this guy said he did it on behalf of Black Lives Matter. Shot 5 cops, wanted to go to war in a really big way. Oh, so is your brother, your cousin, your uncle, whatever the fuck? What did he say? What did he talk like? But they will do it for every other single shooter who's the proverbial angry white male who has the wrong politics.
Oh yeah, if he's angry, white, and has the wrong politics, oh yeah, it's breaking news. But if he's non-white, leaning left and all that right there, nothing to see here.
Gayest person on YouTube. Polonium. That was the material I was trying to think of. He died of polonium poisoning. The one guy I was thinking of. Thank you.
Polonium poisoning?
Polonium. Yeah.
Polonium poisoning.
Oh yeah, you guys actually have a product called Polony, don't you?
Yeah, it's baloney. We just call it polony.
I by the way, I love that you spell baloney like with a Y. You don't even try and spell it Bologna. I love that.
Oh God, no, that's dumb.
Yeah. What?
No, trying to spell it Bologna. That's like, what is that? A country?
No, it's far. It's a region of Italy.
Is it? Oh, shit.
Where it comes from, yes.
I thought it came from Oscar Mayer.
Well,
hey,
you know what?
Leave my Oscar Mayer alone.
You're both.
It has a way.
You're both right, actually. Like, Bologna, like bologna as it's sold today. Yeah, it has very little resemblance to traditional Bologna from Bologna, Italy, in a big way. Yeah, so we might as well just call it Bologna and leave it at that. I thought it came from Oscar Mayer. Jesus. Oh man.
Oscar Polony.
They got the best bologna.
What is that? A country?
Yep. Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Shoot.
You witnessed one of my many blonde moments. There you go.
You'd be surprised the many words I done looked up and be like, "Is this a country?" And they'd be like, "Yep." Like down there in down there in Iceland or down there in the UK, like, damn, this exists.
Gilcado says if that was true, our Italian population would have made us change, but they didn't. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know. Like Gilcado's down there in Australia, you guys. You guys got a strong Italian segment to your population? Far?
Sorry, I'm cutting meat.
Is it Poloni?
No.
I was asking, is there a strong Italian community down there?
It depends where you are. Like, if around where I live, no. It's more English people. For whatever reason, I don't understand why English people want to come live here. I really don't. But they do. But,
Because English weather's depressing?
I don't fucking know.
yeah, it's overcast and rainy a lot of the time. That's English weather, right?
But yeah, overall though, yeah, I'd say there is a bit of an Italian population and a Greek one as well. In Western Australia, you're more likely to see that in more Perth suburbs though. Like, not really spread out as far, but there is a significant portion of, I think, maybe North Perth.
Really?
If I remember correctly, I know my dad grew up around a lot of Greeks and Italians. I'm trying to remember where exactly he grew up in Perth.
Circa Zero.
That is.
Really quick, Circa Zero over on Streamlabs whispers aggressively, "Polly, get a damn Streamlabs already, Polly." There's an there's an irony to that. I'm reading that off of Streamlabs.
Get another Streamlabs.
Is that what you're telling me to do? Go get a second one? I could do that if you want.
Yeah, you get a second one. So you have to check 2 accounts.
The Noir Bar Streamlabs, keep the liquor flowing. Yeah.
You have your one that's your maid, and then you have the other one where people just send it specifically for alcohol.
Evil One says, "Damn it, your Noir Bar is competing against El Dorado movie." Okay, El Dorado's a great movie, but what are you talking about? I don't understand at all. Are you trying to watch it and we're currently like making you pause the movie to watch us? I'm not going to tell you to stop doing that. It's a great idea. Yeah, shit.
No, fuck that. We're better than El Dorado.
Say that again?
Fuck that. We're better than El Dorado. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no kidding. And El Dorado will be there for... it can wait. It can wait. And do you call them wops? I haven't heard anyone call an Italian person a wop, like outside of a movie. I don't think ever. I mean, it happens in movies, but
I think it's one of those things where it used to be more of a thing.
Yeah, maybe it's before my time that it was more common.
Yeah, but it's not really anymore.
Evil One says I'm trying to do both. Well, there's your problem, man. El Dorado can wait. It's fine. We're not going to be here forever. Vol Potato says we got a lot of Filipinos in Brisbane. Huh.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Circa Zero's just like, nope, I'm keeping the tradition alive. That's going to be an ongoing thing. It's going to be a year from now. People still yelling at me to get a Streamlabs. You know, it's like I've had one for a year. What the fuck?
But it's so fun to say. Polly, get a Streamlabs, Polly.
You will, yeah. No, nobody can do it like our friend Irate Bear though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna scream that.
I was just about to say,
you'll scream it. Polly, get a scream.
Oh, hey, March Hare's here. Hey, March Hare, how's it going? Not our usual comic book stream, March Hare. This is just our late night Noir Bar hangout when we're bored and decide to hang out in the wee hours of the morn. When there's nothing much else going on.
Yeah, we sip on our drink and talk about all the shit in the world.
Yeah, no shit.
while I eat dinner.
Yeah. What time is it down where you're at for?
It's 7:20
7:20.
AM or PM?
p.m.
PM. It's 6:23 right here.
Yeah.
I will. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. For those of you who don't know, there was a. The New York Post had a long-running thing with Donald Trump, like when he was just, I say just a billionaire Manhattan real estate developer. That's what he did, you know. And New York Post, man, they called out Trump constantly. It was like they were embroiled in a constant battle with the guy, like they hated him personally or something. I think he was just great fodder for their journalists to write about. Here's a guy who's in town. New York Post knows they're a smaller newspaper. They're not a national newspaper like the Washington Post or New York Times. So they're like, okay, let's be New York specific. I think they're slowly edging towards not conservatism, but being critical of the overall mainstream media message. Because they've got stuff that back in the day, they never would have said anything supportive of Trump. That was just somebody that they loved to dunk on constantly. Before he thought about running for president. You know what I mean? It's like Donald Trump says something stupid about Obama's birth certificate, that kind of thing. Yet again, Donald Trump embarrasses himself, etc. You know what I mean? And now they got articles like this. Like I'm just kind of like jumping around at their website. In their op-ed section, CNN's big, quote, mistakes all run in one direction. Anti-Trump.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. It's not a surprise to us, but let's just take a quick read on this here and see where this op-ed goes, because I don't get to read a lot of op-eds like this outside of
Like,
what?
Do they give examples?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Oh, I gotta hear them.
That though, Polly. If Old Potato was asking me to tell you pronounce Brisbane properly.
Brisbane. Was that clear enough?
Brisbane.
Yeah, I know. I'm just fucking with you guys. I could say Brisbane. What's the other big one that y'all get bent out of shape over?
There's Canberra and Melbourne.
Melbourne. That's the one. It's not.
Oh, Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne. Yes.
Melbourne.
You know,
I don't make the rules. I just live here. Okay.
I got to admit, it would bug the shit out of me if I had to listen to people online continually say New Hampshire. I would get that would just drive me insane.
I ran into a weird one where I found a YouTube video, right, where they were discussing something and it mentioned somewhere that I live. I'm not going to say where, and I'm not even going to link to the video. But they kept saying it wrong. But in the humorous way of, I have heard Platty say it this exact same way. And I'm just like, no one knows how to say it. This is hilarious, but kind of just, oh god.
Yeah,
it's not that hard. Oh dear lord.
And like I said, I could see it. Like I could see someone saying, look, it's written New Hampshire. That's how it's said or written. And it's like, yeah, I know, but you say sure, New Hampshire.
Yeah,
right?
It's pronounced Hampshire.
It's the same thing of the name that I'm not going to mention. It's like, it is written like that, yes. But that's not how you say it.
Yeah, it's... Ryan Walter says, is this New Hampshire not full of hobbits? Yeah, what kills me is there's all of these places throughout the UK. Shire, like at the end of it. And it's like, but you don't say it like that. You say, sure. Like that's just, like Worcestershire sauce,
Worcestershire.
I asked Bear a couple of times, say it for me slowly. How do you say that word? Because I put that shit on everything. I go through it like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, man.
I love that sauce so much, man. It's just, whew.
Give me some prime rib. Ooh.
Yeah. It works as a marinade, works as a dipping sauce.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's you.
Yes. It's the things it does for stews and gravies. Oh man, when you're mixing up some burgers for your grill, some heavy dashes of that shit along with some hot sauce of your choice. Tabasco would be my suggestion for hamburgers. Mix that up. On top of a steak. God. Anyway, I asked him how to say it, and he said it, and I still can't get it right. He made me say it in slow syllables. Okay, say it with me, Polly. War. And I still say Worcestershire to get every...
Just to light them up.
Oh, man.
I can just see him. Damn it, Polly!
Damn it, Polly.
And Evolved Potato says,
one.
I know people that turn it, just like Evolved Potato did, into a 2-syllable word where it's Worcestershire. It's Worcestershire sauce. What's your problem? Let's just say it. And it's
Worcestershire sauce.
Three-sided coin says salt, fat, acid. Yeah. You know what kills me about it is that like people who claim that they don't like, I don't like things that taste fishy. You realize there's a strong fish taste in Worcestershire. Like it's fermented fish sauce with a whole bunch of spices and blackstrap molasses and aged in oak barrels, etc. But there is a strong fermented fish taste to it, and people, I don't know. I had an ex-girlfriend that wouldn't let me put it on anything she was eating because of its high calorie count. Do you know how many grams of sugar there are just in 1 tablespoon?
Don't care.
Yeah, I'm like, stay away from like regular soda then. Why would you deny yourself like one of the best sauces ever devised?
Like you was mentioned, like I said, hey, shoot, mix it up. I'm saying mix it up in your hamburger meat while you're grilling it, or while you're cooking it and all that right there. Add to your steak while you're grilling it up. Oh man.
Yeah. Or I found this out the other day. Put a couple of quick dashes in with your scrambled eggs when you're whisking them up in the bowl before they hit the pan. Oh, scrambled eggs even brings them alive. It's just, there it is. Over on the Streamlabs real quick. Yeah, Manic says, tip for the bartender, or for the barkeep. Well appreciated, Manic. I appreciate that. Another one of our awesome Australian contingent. So anyway, we were talking about CNN's big mistakes over here on New York Post. CNN was better off when it devoted round-the-clock coverage to missing planes and black holes. Oh, no. That's the first line.
Wait, what? Sorry, I completely missed that. Can you repeat that?
I certainly can. CNN was better off when it devoted round-the-clock coverage to missing planes and black holes and human excrement overflowing on cruise ships.
What?
Okay, you know that CNN devoted significant coverage to both those things, right?
Yeah. I'm just thinking, what?
So, okay, I'm confused. Do you know that CNN actually did devote significant coverage to both those things?
I knew it. Well, one of those things would be the MH plane, right?
Yes, the Malaysia Airlines plane. Don Lemon reported, and for a whole show talked about it might have disappeared into a black hole. That's why they can't find it.
Get that. Yep, I know that one. I don't know quite about the excrement one, but...
Cruise ships, and something was wrong with their, if memory serves, something was wrong with their septic system. And it's a cruise ship. Everything's self-contained. They don't just dump piss and shit in the ocean. It's all, And there was something wrong with it, and it kind of overflowed a little, and yeah, that's... So, but they talked about it forever and a day. It was like, what the fuck is it with you, CNN? There was no Donald Trump in the White House, and there wasn't the current scare tactic around the ghostly poltergeist-like threat of white supremacy. And
it's like they really didn't get on Trump until he called what's called your fake news at one time, and that's where the fire really got started.
Yeah. Ryan Walter said, I'll be trying the egg thing, Paulie. Yeah, absolutely. No, seriously. In some scrambled eggs, try a few dashes of Worcestershire. And Ebony says, eggs. What about eggs? Oh, yeah. I put them on top of sunny side up. I really dig eggs in all the ways that they can come.
I never could get used to sunny side up.
No? I was trying over easy for a while, and I kept smashing the yolks. I guess I wasn't gentle-handed enough with them, so I just switched to sunny side. And It didn't go well.
Oh man, remember when I used to cook, man? This lady, I always wanted light over easy, and that's one of the hardest things to do, is because like because like when you get the light over easy, like you gotta like be like really really careful with it, otherwise the yolk is gonna break, and I'm like, ah shit.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
damn.
the yolk spreads out over the pan and cooks, and that's exactly what they don't want.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's.
I'm like, lady, do you know how hard this is? Now you got like 10. Now you got 10 people behind you and things like that, because I got to take my sweet time on this because.
That's why when I'm in a rush, I just make scrambled, and if I want a proper runny yolk, I do poached. Then you can't lose. That's in my opinion anyway. That's my bachelor perspective on it. Over on Streamlabs, Evolved Potato. Thank you very much, Evolved. Now, Polly, say it slowly. Okay, here it goes. I will say it slowly. Worcestershire sauce. Okay. Yeah, that's what type. WA-STA-sure. I'll take your words on it. Okay. So CNN was better off. Round-the-clock coverage, missing planes of black holes, human excrement off of cruise ships. Now the network is just a series of embarrassments. Oh my God, that's so cold. CNN blared an exclusive headline Monday with a story purporting that U.S. intelligence made the decision to extract a spy that had been working within the Russian government because officials believed his cover may have been compromised by President Trump having, quote, repeatedly mishandled classified intelligence. But Hillary Clinton wasn't a threat, even though she ran her own server for securing classified documents. No, let her landlady or her maid print them off to hand them over to Uma Abedin. But that wasn't a national security risk, right?
No, she's innocent.
No.
Okay. I actually don't think that was a national security risk. It was just negligent as fuck. If you know what I mean. Like, there's no provable damage that came out of that, but it easily could have, and that's what I mean by negligent. But apparently everyone's like, let's just move on. Well, it's not as bad as what Trump did. Yeah, whatever. Fuck. That dispatch from Jim Sciutto, CNN's, quote, chief national security correspondent, would have certainly been a smash if it weren't for vehement denials by the administration and subsequent reporting that contradicted the crux of the story, that had been Trump who screwed up the intelligence operation. During a White House press briefing on Tuesday, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo called CNN's reporting materially inaccurate. Stories in both the New York Times and Washington Post further obliterated the CNN narrative. According to the Times, it wasn't Trump, but the heightened media scrutiny on Russia following the 2016 election that caused concern for the spy's safety. Jesus Christ, it was the news agencies never shutting up about the story that caused the concern for this asset safety to begin with. Isn't that interesting? It was only when news outlets began piecing together the spy's identity. Let's just start that over again. It was only when news outlets began piecing together the spy's identity that the CIA, in late 2016, the Times said, began trying to extract the source from Russia. Barack Obama was still president at the time. They were that worried over Russiagate that early. Trump hadn't even been inaugurated yet.
Are they retarded?
Again, I think it was just like we were saying before. It's the rush to Orange Man bad. It's like, this is a bad burn. As CNN and MSNBC are so fond of saying, if true, this would be extremely damaging to the president. And oh my God, do they have their fingers crossed and praying that it actually is true. You guys are like BuzzFeed at this point.
Worse.
Yeah, they have a wider audience and are given more credibility. So yeah, worse. Yeah. Anyway.
But they keep doing this to themselves.
You know what blows my mind? I just realized this right now. Steven Crowder, just before this story broke, did a CNN is fake news, change my mind thing in front of CNN headquarters in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have this story to talk about.
Yep.
I mean, not that that's bad for him. It's more like goes to the credibility of what he was arguing. Okay, try and change my mind on this. And then this story comes out. Okay, now try and change my mind on this. Because one of his,
man.
if you watch,
Just think about,
sorry, Pat, go ahead.
look, no, I just said, just think about all the things that CNN has done though. Like I said, between the grab him by the pussy and then the shithole, then the Covington thing, and like his tax returns and all that right there, that are just they just keep going just down and down and down. They just said, fuck it, let's see how far we dig this hole.
Yeah, and the crux of Crowder's arguments, actually, if you watch them, the people he talks to, it's refreshing to watch Crowder's long form things. I was talking about this with Monkey because, yeah, you get some wing nuts, but most people sit down and can express themselves clearly. It just comes to the whole point of the change my mind thing is to rationalize your position. They start to rationalize it, then you as the viewer can decide whether they have good points, which are the premises for what they're thinking, or not good points. They can't make their position plain and clear to anyone who's listening by supporting it well. Okay. It's really interesting, and most of the people are not nutcases. They're just people that think differently than you and put different weight on different pieces of information. That's what you see in that. Most people are not bad. Enough of this. The dozens of millions of people who voted for Donald Trump are all racists. And fuck off. That's not even close to being true. Why are you trying to go to war with your own fellow citizens? You know what I mean? Most people aren't like that. They're not crazy. They're not loons. The United States is not full of Marxists as much as I hate Marxists. There's small enclaves of people who've gone really far, and unfortunately, there's a fuck ton of them in the media.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
And with some people, like I said, it's just more easier to label somebody that way.
I'm telling you, most of your fellow citizens are not nut jobs. You will find small groups of them here and there and stuff. Unfortunately, they end up in power positions in on campuses, in mainstream news. Like, how out of touch is your average journalist? Wow. As a former professor of mine liked to say, there's 3 places that aren't in the United States: Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and New York. And he doesn't mean they're literally not located there. It's just, if you go there, you will find a wide difference from the way that most people in other places think. But what's critical about that is, where are the 3 places that news originates from in terms of national news for the United States? Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and New York. It's like those 3 places are talking on behalf of America, but are, generally speaking, not voting along with the rest of America. And that's fine. They can vote however they want. But when the news sources come out of there and act like, well, everyone around me thinks this way in that one place you're from, this is how things like the 2016 election are a surprise to you. All right. In any case, let's continue on with this. The Washington Post likewise reported that Trump, quote, was not the reason for the decision to remove the CIA asset. Ooh, that's got to sting, Jim Sciutto. But 2 newspapers that CNN is constantly quoting from, as reported in the New York Times, as reported in the Washington Post, we're assholes who got this story dead wrong. And yet, as of this writing, CNN has not made a single change to the fundamental allegation of the story. So much for that apple that isn't a banana and facts first. I don't know, you guys remember that commercial that CNN ran?
No.
I'm
not in America, probably.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I thought you might have seen the clip or something like that. It was... No. It doesn't matter how much someone tells you this apple is a banana. It looks like an apple. It is an apple. It's the same size and shape and color of an apple. Doesn't matter if someone keeps telling you it's a banana. It's an apple. Facts matter. CNN, the most trusted name in news.
Okay.
The idea being, no matter how much the Donald Trump and the Trump administration lie to you, it doesn't matter. They're trying to say one thing is something else. Facts come first. Come to us, CNN, for, the most trusted name in news.
Yeah.
But what if it tastes like one?
it was just insulting to their audience, in my
Take
opinion.
our word for it, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're telling you it is, and it's like, yeah, but I don't know. You guys are constantly calling things that are. There's an apple out there. We swear to God, there's an apple. Well, it turns out everyone else says it's a banana. Shut up, white supremacist. You know,
That is just such a dumb thing to get your point across as well, though. It's like, this apple. It's an apple.
That's what I mean by it's insulting to your audience. That's like the way you would explain something to your little nephew or something. You know what I mean? Now, listen, Johnny. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if the kids at school tell you that. Look, think about it. This is an apple. What if your friends at school told you it was a banana? Would you believe them? Like, you know, it's really talking down to someone. You know what I mean? Whew. CNN's Spygate yarn was only the latest in a series of major screw-ups by the cable network. Some that it admitted to and some that it hasn't. And what we're sure isn't by complete coincidence, all of the awful reporting has taken place in negative stories about the president. Last summer, Shudo was the lead reporter on a story asserting that Michael Cohen, Trump's former personal attorney, now serving a 3-year prison sentence, would testify in front of Congress that the president knew in advance about the infamous 2016 Trump Tower meeting with a Russian lawyer who had promised to provide the campaign with damaging information about Hillary Clinton. If true, that would have meant that Trump himself had potentially invited Russia's interference in the election, and that he may have unwittingly attempted to collude with the Kremlin. But Cohen never ended up testifying to that, yet CNN's reporting is still up and running, uncorrected. In December of 2017, CNN reported that Trump's campaign had advance access to the DNC emails that had been stolen and were published by WikiLeaks during the election. Those emails are believed to have been stolen by Russians, and, if true, CNN's report would have again provided further evidence that Trump's campaign and perhaps Trump himself were coordinating with Vladimir Putin to swing the election. But the story wasn't true, and this time CNN did issue a correction, admitting that it had misread some of the dates on emails sent by Trump's son, Don Jr. Remember that whole thing? I remember that. Their whole story was based upon misreading dates on emails, and they showed the emails up on screen with the dates on them that showed what they were saying. Didn't make any. See, this email received before this date, and it's like, no, that says right there. That's
right there.
Yeah, that's the wrong date. Intrepid gumshoe reporter. You fucking knobs. Anyway, you know what? I fuck up on stuff like this, but not in research papers I'm writing, because I damn well know someone's going to call me on it. Kind of like it's part of the profession to get your research right. You're supposed to be professional research journalists, but you fuck up on obvious stuff like this. And do you think they go to the headline to say we were wrong? I don't expect them to self-flagellate in public, but they bury the fact they retracted something. Mm-hmm. And they go headline with something that they think they're right on for days and days and days. That's the difference. It's like, well, we did retract that on page 37 next to the ad for escorts. You know what I mean? There's more. In the summer of 2017, CNN ran a story alleging that former White House communications director Anthony Scaramucci, who had worked on the Trump 2016 campaign, had billions of dollars in financial dealings with Russia. That wasn't true either. And there, 3 journalists who were directly involved in this reporting, quote, resigned from the network just days later. That was, by the way, after Scaramucci reportedly threatened CNN with a $100 million lawsuit if they didn't correct the story. CNN ended up retracting the report and issuing an apology directly to Scaramucci, which you could only hear of if you followed Scaramucci. They didn't talk about it very much. I read the story about them getting rid of 3 people, including the editor and the 2 journalists, if memory serves, on other news sites, not on CNN. I have no doubt that if you scoured the internet, you'd be able to find CNN talking about it, but it certainly wouldn't be their lead story about anything. But they talked about Scaramucci and his billions of corrupt dollars dealing with Russia. You know, at all this time, all this came under CNN's supposedly straight news reporting, insipid analysis by Chris Cillizza. White House press room stunning by Jim Acosta and Rose Garden rants by Brian Kareem can all be dismissed as desperate rating grabs by CNN, but that's all supposed to be separate from the supposedly objective presentation of the news. The truth? The most trusted name of news is now the most busted name. This is CNN. No, really, this is CNN. I mean, this is, like I said, this is an op-ed piece in the New York Post, so that's why this person's writing like that. But god damn, that's rough.
Man. I mean, in my opinion, they ain't lying, but it's like, god damn.
Yeah, that's some op-ed writing, all right. I mean, it's clearly labeled as opinion at the top, but I don't know. I am so tired of what would only pass as what we're doing right now. Late night conversations about news, topical news items. But the difference is we're not a major network owned by Time Warner promoting ourselves as the most trusted name in news. This is Noir Bar. It's intended as full of opinion. It obviously is what it is. We're not saying we're above criticism or anything of the sort. It's the whole theme is just people sitting around late night having drinks and talking. CNN does the same thing with their own six-figure correspondents. They'll talk 2 sentences of news and say, and now we'll turn to our learned panel to discuss what this all means. In other words, to run a bunch of opinionated op-eds to promote their political angles or the view count on this current show. And that's called news. This is why I pound away so hard on the whole news entertainer thing. People have asked me, what's the worst problem facing America? I say the news. People say, oh, come on. That's not an existential threat. No, it's not. You know, that's not nuclear material making into a foreign hostile power's hands. No, it's most certainly not. But here's the thing. I say it's the most dangerous, prescient problem facing the United States because all of those other problems may be the most important, most challenging issue facing America. But how would you know? You're relying on the news to filter that information to you. Is what Donald Trump doing with the Taliban risky? Or is it smart? Or is it 4D chess? Or is it another blunder of his? Who knows? Because the information is completely coming to you through a biased news source that only wants you to see things the way that they see things. That's why they're the number one problem. In my mind. That's why I would make that argument. Whatever the number one problem is, you can't tell because they're so busy muddying the waters. According to the New York Times right now, the greatest threat facing America is not being able to come to terms with its racist past, thus the 1619 Project. White supremacy is the greatest threat facing America. How we haven't come to terms with the slavery of the past. Really? Really? Because I never learned about this in school. I'm all for facing the racist past of America in as much excruciating detail as anybody feels that it needs to be examined. If every other kind of thing we discuss is open to that level of historical scrutiny. But it's not. When we talk about Islam's past, when we talk about the Middle East, we don't talk about 1,600 years of African slave trading. Because that's how long they did it for. Mm-hmm. Muhammad himself had black slaves. That's not something that some alt-right hate group came up with. It's right there in the Hadith. I don't even want to get into the detailed ways of how he talked about Africans. Does that make him a bad person or not a religious prophet or any of these other things? No, I'm saying, why are those things called hate facts, as Jack would joke? You want to talk about...
What is, Africans had black slaves.
Well, and this is what I mean. Do we want to open every scab of the past about everything? I don't think that these people who promote those ideas do. They just want to rub certain wounds sorer and sorer and sorer. It's like, oh, you don't want to talk about the past? You don't want to face up to it? No, I do. As long as we face up to all of the past with that level of scrutiny and detail.
Yeah, not cherry pick.
Right. Every time that Islam comes up, there's no way it can be discussed without talking about 1,600 years of slave trading in Africa. I don't know. I don't think that people would want to do it that way. They'd see that as Islamophobic. That's attempting to smear it. Really?
That's what gets on my nerves right there. Oh, that's Islamophobia to talk about. No, no, it's not. It's like it's fact. It's out there, and if you do your damn research and look and things and all that right there, but but in their mind, like I said, oh, we can't talk about that.
Yeah. And that bugs the shit out of me. The idea of protected demographics from actual propaganda. Oh, the gays spread AIDS and so forth. Like, like actual, you understand what I'm saying? Like as if no one else can get AIDS. You see what I'm saying? Making it sound like it's exclusively coming from and part of that community. Yeah, that's ugly. I hear you. That's targeted. I get you. But the idea of protection of a community, don't say anything critical of someone if they're gay, because that's homophobia. No, that's bullshit. Yeah, Ryan Walters, they used to castrate their slaves. Yes, common practice of taking slaves in warfare in Islam or through trading is to castrate them. Then they're
and that's another thing of saying that you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't because it's offensive to this and that and all that right there. I'm like, but yet you sit up here and say you can say anything you can about white people and white supremacy and white nationalists and all that right there and everything, but you can't say nothing about this, who probably did the exact same thing, because that would be racist, sexist, homophobic, and all that right there. It's
And real quick, for everyone who's wondering, Far hit me up on DMs that her internet died. It'll be back soon, so she'll get that string retied between. Oh, she's back. Okay.
Yeah, she go.
So you got that string retied, nice and taut.
Yes. The NBN stream is back.
Somebody snipped her string.
It happens. It happens.
I complain about my up and download speeds, and then Far and Monkey talk, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shut up. I don't have actual problems.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of used to it at this point of the internet just deciding, yeah, no, fuck you, I'm down. Because it happens so often now that it's just like, it's not even worth getting angry at it. It's just more of a, okay, how long till it comes back this time?
Yeah. You know what?
It's the worst when it's like at 12 at night as well. At least now, there's less of a chance of it happening later, so.
Hold on, you said it's more likely to happen at 12 at night?
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, no, the later on it gets, the more likely it is to just cut off. And I'm not entirely sure why. But
yeah.
The fact that it's
you would think
now,
it would.
Though, it means there's less of a chance of it happening later, which is good.
I'm just.
Because I fucking hate it when it happens like that. But...
You think the highest demand time would be when it cuts out? That was my thinking. Yeah.
I don't know. It's the NBN. Like, really, the NBN sucks.
Are like
It sucks dick at sucking dick.
Are,
That's how bad it is.
Are Aussies as a nation all night owls? Do you guys all go on the internet at midnight? Is that what happened?
I don't know, but it's really common if you're on, like I keep saying, the NBN. So
right.
I think it's just an outage thing of whenever it feels like doing it, it does it.
Really quick over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep. Since Jack isn't here, I have to say that the things that you're saying are a lot of hate facts right now. Yep. You're channeling Jack. He would be all over me for my hate facts right now. One thing that Talix said, it's
and
like,
hey, fuck you, Evolved Potato. Western Australia is a proper state. Western Australia's just looking now.
Let's keep the petty regionalism to a minimum.
No, let's go full blown with this shit. Fuck you.
Your petty regionalism brings a subject up. Yet again, people were talking about the one man, one person, one vote thing related to small r republicanism in the U.S., the Electoral College and stuff. And I tried. I was like, okay, I have a friend in Australia. She's from Western Australia, which, although is a very large geographic region, it doesn't have as high of a population. And this person was like, yeah, so if everybody in Western Australia voted one way, it wouldn't make a difference because of the size of their population. And it's like, well, but yeah, that's what we call democracy, Polly, was the way that it was put back to me. I'm like, that's what we call direct democracy with no balance for region, because everybody who's in Eastern Australia doesn't have the same concerns, the same problems, the same economic issues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, as the people who don't live there have. So of course they all vote in one direction. We call that tyranny of the majority. And usually it's the people on the far left that are arguing to get rid of the Electoral College, to lend some kind of small r republicanism to the system as a collection of states, hence the name United States of America. It's usually those far lefties that are arguing you shouldn't tyrannize minorities. But when it comes to voting for the president, yeah, let's do that. I don't understand how they're fighting for the minority population right up until the point where they're not getting what they want.
Mm-hmm. We've seen how they react towards, I'm saying, towards us who don't toe that line. If the way that, I mean, you have freedom of mobility, you can move to another state. And I understand not everybody has the money to do that. I get that. But the point is you have the freedom to do that. It's not beyond your control. Should not New York State be able to enact laws that their citizens vote for? Should not Georgia and New Hampshire and whoever the fuck else be able to do the same thing? The individual states are powerful for a reason. So, because good politics are local politics. And on the state level, they decide how their citizens want to live because they've been voted in office to do precisely that. Now, when it comes to the whole country, should the most populous regions of the country be able to decide the foreign policy direction of the entire country, forgetting that the states are supposed to be powerful political units? I would say not. I don't get this argument. I think it's largely based in not, well, one person, one vote. The Electoral College is racist. Really? Why is it racist? Because they didn't get their way.
Yeah. Well, because the majority of POCs live in the more populous states, it's just a means of getting that a white man's vote in the middle of the country is somehow worth more than a POC's vote in New York State. It's like,
yeah, it wasn't racist when Obama got elected twice, was it?
Right? And it's like, yeah, but twice Republicans have won and not won by the Electoral College vote, the popular vote. The popular vote, they're only calculating it out of general interest. It's irrelevant to the way presidents have been elected since the foundation of the country.
Nice.
Yokado says we have state governments too. No, I absolutely believe that, but from what I understand of parliamentary politics in Australia, the central parliament holds a hell of a lot more sway than any state government does.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when a whole bunch of people vote for federal laws are established that can conflict with Australian state laws, and it doesn't matter, the federal law automatically reigns supreme, and there's no way to... That doesn't happen very often in America. I mean, there was a civil war fought over states' rights, for God's sake. I mean, it's taken extremely seriously. And I think the right side of that argument won on the battlefield, so yay. Blind Press is here. Hey, Blind, how's it going? The time of feelings over facts. Yeah, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's... A Cryptic coming in with the snotty remark over Streamlabs. Get a Stream Element donation account, Polly.
Stream Element donation.
Yes. Stream Elements, you ever heard of it?
No.
No? Cryptic is referring in that comment to... Thank you for the donation, Cryptic. It's like Streamlabs, sort of. Badger uses it, Stream Elements. It's a way of maintaining, controlling, operating your donations when live streaming, especially for gaming. I understand it's extremely popular with gamers who stream games.
Okay.
Warren Malson says Monkey is about to run his stream against yours. Oh, I see.
Monkey's up and running.
So what he did is
Monkey in the morning. Yup, it's morning.
well.
I have not seen a more appropriate title in a while.
I know he's been kind of doing that lately. Like, uses streams run like 3 a.m. Central my time, but lately it's been it's been popping up at 7.
Yeah, no kidding. Actually, we've been on for a hot minute. We can wind it down before Monkey the Rat drops a dime on the cops to us and tells us to raid our little after hours joint here.
God damn it, Monkey.
What?
My dad puts a lot of time and effort into that Dad Zeus me alcohol. God damn it.
Yeah.
Dad Zeus me. I love... Far, why haven't you come up with a label for it yet? You have artistic skills like a motherfucker. Where's it at?
Because, I don't know. Honestly, I've been trying to give my hand a break. It started to hurt like a couple of days ago, so I've kind of just been going, okay, maybe it's time to not.
I want to see
for a while.
I want to see a smart ass artistic rendering of your father done in comic cartoon style, like standing next to a still, holding up like a bottle with XXX on the side of it. That'd be great. I want to see what you'd come up with. That'd be hilarious. As if your dad wouldn't find that funny as fuck and put those labels on all his bottles.
No, he would.
he strikes me as
he would probably be asking for a copy of it.
He strikes me as a good-natured guy that'd find that funny.
Yeah, this is the same guy that he asked for like this drawing I did when I was in high school to tape it against his lunchbox.
Oh, that's just
adorable.
adorable.
And I'm still a bit weirded out by his choice though, considering it was an anime girl holding a scythe that was all bloody. So that was interesting.
He's proud of you no matter what you do, Far. That's what's going on.
Yeah,
there.
apparently. Apparently.
Duck Dog says, "Cheese it! It's the cops!" Yeah, that's right. Let's book. It's the fuzz.
Is monkey another word for police now?
Yeah, it's the fuzz. Exactly, Talik. Coppers,
it's the monkey.
You'll never catch me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pat, if you don't know, Far's father runs his own still, makes his own alcohol.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he operates on a different level of cool than the rest of us. So
it's not the shine, is it?
I don't think it's moonshine.
He ain't getting a shine on.
To be honest, but
yeah, I haven't checked my inbox. People, who said that? Gilcado said, invite Monkey to your stream to troll him, especially. I've thought about inviting Monkey by the Noir Bar, but he's got the channel with the 26,000 subs and the fancy, what do you call it? Super chats and all that.
I'll just invite him.
Okay. What?
That didn't take much, Jesus.
Hey, everyone's welcome at the Noir Bar. Everyone's welcome inside.
I was honestly expecting more resistance than that, but okay.
Let me see. I mean, I'll shoot him the link, but if he's starting his own stream, he probably won't come on, if not for long, but we'll see. Monkey's been on the channel a few times, and up until recently, he had the most viewed individual video that I had ever had, was the one that he... Remember when his channel got shut down, when he got yeeted? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And ran the guest stream over on there? Ryan Walter says, all right, Polly, I'm cooking those eggs now. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the proper sauce, man. Far has pseudo powers.
Was he doing the Democratic debate?
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, they were. It was PBS that they were live streaming. I think I can't remember who their source was for that, but
some news channel.
There, I hit Monkey up with the link. We'll see if he shows up. Chad, answer me a question. How is the music? Because I'm hearing it so faintly in the background, but only I'm going to go back and listen afterwards to see how everyone's voice levels are. The problem is that it's hard to recreate it. It's not like you just set everyone's levels because you slightly tweak it up or down. Blind, I just went and read your DM over on Twitter. I had a whole bunch of DMs that were read and unread, and then I'm part of like 8 different DM groups where people are talking to each other, but not to me particularly, because there's like 4 people that are in the DM group. Anyway, what resulted was a whole bunch of unread DMs, and I ended up marking as read everything because it was just like I had like 100 notifications waiting, and it was annoying. But will I be able to come on Friday? I still don't know. If you guys haven't checked out Blind Press's channel, there, I got it out, by all means do so. It's awesome. And your boy Pat's channel has been repeatedly posted by Evolved Potato. Thank you very much, Evolved Potato, for doing that.
What's left of it? It's like, I don't know. It's been a while since I posted a video on there and things like this. Like I don't know. It's pretty much done that. I mean, of course, I've been working on my whole Psycho Rick channel, things like that, trying to get that build up. So
right.
But it's like every time I think about putting like a video on there, I'm just like, because most of my political rants are now on Twitter, and every time I try to drop a video, about 20 people that already said what I'm finna say. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go watch them.
Warren says if no one is talking, you can hear the music, but if y'all are speaking, it's silent. That's interesting. Whether or not it. Oh, you know what? I might have the auto duck set in the settings to drop the music truly to silent. Yeah, I'll have to look into the settings. Thank you for letting me know that, Warren. I did.
So when we speak, it goes down.
Yeah, there are audio duck settings in OBS. I was telling Eve about them. So when she does her game streams, when she starts talking, the boom crash explosions of the game auto drop down when she starts talking. But then they obviously pick back up when everyone falls silent, which is a good thing. I don't know what the settings are, but yeah. Monkey just went live. Motherfucker. Doesn't respond. Motherfucker. He called the cops on us. That's it. That's why he's being so brazen. We're just over here trying to enjoy each other's company, monkey. Yep.
It's okay. I called him a snitch in his own chat.
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm going over there and I'm calling him a snitch too. Good call, Far. God damn it.
It seems like the logical response.
Damn, monkey just came in loud. Yeah, look at that. Started streaming 49 seconds ago. You fucking scab ratting us out. Oh, and Eve's over there. Motherfucker.
What, is she?
Well, that's what Pete just said. It said, oh, and Chaos. No, she's not over there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see her.
Pete, you shit disturber. You had me feeling double stabbed in the back, damn it. Hold on here. Monkeys. Damn rat.
Now let's hope it doesn't eat it up. It's a fucking monkey in it. Yep, there it is.
Well, before they come in and shut us down one more time, everyone's gonna have to sneak out the back into the alley. It's fine. It's fine. I cleaned it up.
I don't like the alley.
But no, it's fine. I cleaned it up. There's Far, goddamn snitch. Oh, that's...
Yeah, you just saw.
Fucking guy. Anyway, we will.
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah, we're gonna shut it down, and we've been on long enough anyway. I always like to just open the Noir Bar for. It's an after hours joint. You know, after you're done clubbing, hanging out with your lady, whatever, you go by an after. I don't know if you guys have ever been to an after hours joint, but they're never open particularly long, and that's the whole point, just to get some extra drinks on the way home. You know. But unfortunately, there's guys like Ranting Monkey that'll call the cops on you, motherfucker. And then once again, one last time, Evolved Potato put up everyone's links, and appreciate that, Evolved. I really appreciate that. It's great.
Thank you.
So in the meantime, yeah, we'll see you here. I'm not sure when we'll be open next. Usually when we're not stepping on somebody else's toes and we're in the mood for a late night stream. Far, thanks for coming by as always. And Pat, it's been too long since we streamed. It was a lot of fun, man.
Oh yeah, no, it was fun.
Yeah. So I don't know. You work whenever you're not working and you're bored. Hit me up on DMs, man. I'm always down for a to open the Noir Bar to anybody who wants.
All right.
Yeah.
See, whenever I'm not doing the early bird shift.
Yeah. No shit. All right, so there it is, chat. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us, and thank you to all of the donors. Greatly appreciate Xpub, Hotep, Evolved Potato, Manic, Circuit Zero, Cryptic. You guys are awesome. That's what allows us to keep the lights on as low as they are. It's mood lighting. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.
Good night.